Andrew Tate says Charlie Kirk's death wasn't random. He calls it proof of a kill list, and he claims his own name is on it. From Trump to Elon Musk, Tate says the most polarizing voices in the world are being lined up. But is he exposing a pattern or just fueling paranoia? Let's break it down and analyze who might really be on that alleged list. Andrew Tate ain't pulling no punches here. He straight up said, it's not only Charlie, there's a list. They're coming for the rest of us. He points at Charlie Kirk like proof of concept, saying if he, so-called nice guy, the one who wasn't as inflammatory as Tate himself, could get dropped in front of his supporters, then who's safe?
And the fact that I'm on a kill list doesn't bother me. It's not about me. It's about Charlie. The fact that he was the nice guy. So you can't be a nice guy to these people. They will kill you. What are we supposed to do here, Mario?
He brings receipts from his own life, too. Talks about how just last month somebody pulled up to his crib in the UK dressed like a construction worker, knife in hand, trying to get access to him. Says he barely made it out untouched.
We forget it because they were unsuccessful. Did you even know they tried to kill me? Type Andrew Tate knife attack. Last month, somebody put on a high-vis vest pretending to be a builder, trying to get access to my house with a blade. And when he was identified, started slashing randomly because he couldn't kill me. So I'm on a death list also.
He connects dots. Trump almost got assassinated. Nick Fuentes allegedly had an attempt on his life. And Elon Musk polls show half the internet wouldn't blink if he was gone. For Tate, this ain't about left versus right. He's calling it a war of souls. Says the people celebrating Charlie's death aren't just political opponents. They're soulless, sick, spiritually empty.
And the media is spinning and hyper radicalizing low IQ people into attacking anybody who has a worldview that's different to theirs. The media is absolutely, completely complicit. And I would argue that very few people on the planet had larger voices for the masculine youth than Charlie Kirk. If you want to say some names which are possibly up there, it's myself and Nick, and we've already had attempts on our life. This is disgusting. And this is no longer a political divide. This is no longer about policy. This is about good and evil. This is about right and wrong. This is a war. This is almost an unfixable problem. When people are laughing and celebrating a father dying in front of his children because he disagreed with their worldview, especially when their worldview is wrong. Let's analyze as professionals. If you're going to sit and tell the world that men can be women because they put on a wig, and they believe you deserve a bullet in the neck the second you disagree with them, they are fighting objective reality. You can't agree or disagree with these people. Where is the political solution for people you cannot agree, disagree, conversate, or debate with? You tell me how we have a political solution to this. I'm on a forever kill list, as was Charlie, as is Nick, as is Trump, as is anyone who tries to enforce basic reality, as is Elon. Elon saved the world. He's trying to make humans multiplanetary, and people will laugh if he dies.
And then you got Candace Owens. Straight up said there is no Candace without Charlie. Her live stream broke the internet. Over 150,000 people watching. And she said it herself. She didn't want the last memory of Charlie to be the footage of his death.
Charlie was my overly bright and sometimes really annoying kid brother. I was smiling going through my chat of how many times he would text me a picture and say, does this look cool? Does this look cool? Do I look cool? This is like just a screen recording of us talking about a pair of sunglasses. He's just sending me it. I'm like, nah, that's not good. Nope, that's not. No, send. Okay, that one's okay. That'll work. And this is actually one of my favorite photos of him where I can just hear him when I look at this photo. I can hear him saying, does this look cool? He was wearing a pair of Yeezys that Kanye gave him, and he looked really cool. I thought they really suited him. I was like, yeah, you look really cool, Charlie.
But she also pulled the curtain back, said politics is a dirty game, full of fake friends, unnecessary enemies, people who'd rather see you fall than stand by you. She said it was fake watching some of those same people now mourn Charlie after spending years pressuring him or wanting him gone. And then she got real raw. I'll never unsee the violence of it. I pray for the people who took pleasure in that, but I would never wish that on anybody.
But I don't want today to be about anything other than you guys knowing that Charlie really was an amazing person. You know, he was like, we were really close. And he was my best friend and my brother. And I will never unsee the footage of what I saw, the violence of it. I pray for the people who took any pleasure in that. I would never, there's not a single person in the world that I would wish that on. And least of all, someone with a heart like Charlie's. He loved his family, he loved his wife, he loved his country. And he didn't deserve that ending. You know, he's really young.
That right there, that's the human side of this whole mess. Beyond Tate's paranoia, beyond the headlines, it's Candace saying her best friend, her brother, the man who gave her a shot, is gone. And when you realize someone that close to her got touched, you start thinking, if Candace herself ain't safe from the backlash, who really is? Now here's where the story flips again. Authorities just arrested 22-year-old Tyler Robinson, turned in by his own family member and friend. Imagine that. They say he'd been talking at the dinner table about Charlie Kirk coming to Utah, saying Kirk was full of hate. Then the shooting happens. He's allegedly bragging in Discord chats talking about rifles, bullet engravings, even changing outfits to cover his tracks. That's not some random act of violence. That's intent, planned out, calculated. And the wild part, his own people couldn't stomach it and gave him up. But this opens up a bigger question. If Robinson really did this because of politics, what does that mean for every polarizing figure stepping on the stage now? If opinions can trigger bullets, then Tate's paranoia starts sounding less like paranoia and more like a warning. Tate throws out names like Trump, Elon Musk, even Nick Fuentes, saying they're all on this invisible hit list. And look, Trump already had an attempt on his life. Elon, polls showing almost half of some groups saying it'd be justified if something happened to him. That's insane. Now, whether you rock with these people or not, the pattern Tate is pointing at is clear. Polarizing voices are becoming targets. The more influence you have, the more risk you carry. It ain't just politics anymore. It's about visibility. Once you're out front, once you stand against the grain, somebody, somewhere, decides you deserve silence. And silence comes with a weapon.
Nothing. There is nothing left. I want you to speak to Elon. I want to get on the rocket and go to Mars. I am completely heartbroken, not just because of Charlie, not just because I know I'm next. I'm heartbroken for humanity. I'm ready to die. I've had a great life. I'm heartbroken for the Western world as we know it. And anyone with a brain should be.
Here's where it gets dangerous. Tate ain't just talking crazy. He's tapping into something people already feel in their gut. The pattern is there. Trump dodging a shot on stage. Elon Musk trending with should he die? Nick Fuentes nearly clipped. Now Charlie Kirk in a casket. That's not coincidence. That's a lineup. But even if Tate's half wrong, the paranoia he spreads works like a weapon by itself. Look at the ripple. Ben Shapiro cancels appearances. Other commentators tighten security. Events get pulled last minute. Whole platforms fall quiet because folks thinking, if I speak up, I'm next. That's how you silence a country without firing a shot. Fear does the job. And the media, man, they pour gas on it. Every outlet racing to push exclusive details before facts even drop. Clips of Tate's words go viral not because people believe them, but because panic pays. Don't matter if the info's half true, misquoted, or out of context. If it triggers clicks, it gets boosted. So now you got a feedback loop. Violence breeds paranoia. Paranoia breeds headlines. Headlines breed more fear. And through it all, families stay broken, society stays divided, and people like Tate get to play prophet while the rest of us wonder if speaking our mind is worth the risk. That's the real sickness. Don't matter if there's a literal list with names on it. The paranoia alone can do the same damage. And once silence becomes safer than honesty, you already lost. So here's the question Tate dangled. If Charlie Kirk wasn't random, if there really is some kill list, then who's next in line? First name on everybody's lips, Trump. The man already got grazed by a bullet on stage. And let's keep it real. If a former president with Secret Service, armored cars, and whole squads of protection can get touched, then nobody else is really untouchable. Then there's Elon Musk. He ain't just rich. He's dangerous to the establishment because he owns the platform where everybody talks. He flipped Twitter, gave voices back to folks who were banned, and every week he's trending with half the internet saying he should die. That ain't just trolling. That's the exact rhetoric Tate's pointing at. Candace Owens, she just cried her eyes out saying Charlie was her brother. But let's not act like she ain't polarizing. Every time she speaks, half the internet flames her, half the internet rides for her. If this is about silencing the loudest voices, she checks every box. But let's go further. Look at the pattern. Anybody too big, too disruptive, too controversial to cancel starts looking like a target. Ben Shapiro, he's already canceling events. If fear alone can quiet someone like him, imagine what an actual attempt would do. Tucker Carlson, out here interviewing Putin, breaking stories the mainstream avoids. If they lining folks up, Tucker's name is written in bold ink. Joe Rogan, yeah, even him. Biggest podcaster alive. Constantly under fire for misinformation, constantly platforming people who break the narrative. If Tate's theory holds, Rogan's microphone makes him a threat. Jordan Peterson, his lectures already banned in places, called dangerous for his takes on gender and society. He ain't even a firebrand like Tate, but he's influential with millions of young men. And that influence, that's dangerous currency. Nick Fuentes, Tate already name dropped him. Love him or hate him, he's polarizing as hell. He already admitted people tried to clip him before.
Right-wing commentator Nick Fuentes says he was nearly assassinated.
And if you widen the scope, you could argue anybody building massive influence outside the system, whether it's Russell Brand, Alex Jones, even Kanye, could find themselves on that list. Too big to ignore, too chaotic to control. Now here's the wild part. Whether there's a literal binder of names somewhere or just an unspoken pattern, the outcome looks the same. Fear creeps in, voices get quieter, movements lose steam, and that silence, that's the real assassination. So yeah, Tate might sound paranoid, but when you start lining up the names, Trump, Elon, Candace, Shapiro, Tucker, Rogan, Peterson, Fuentes, it don't sound so crazy anymore. This ain't just about Charlie or Tate or even politics. This is about what happens when we start clapping for death like it's a punchline. If every disagreement turns into a bullet, then free speech don't exist no more. Ain't no democracy, ain't no debate, ain't no future. Just silence. And silence ain't peace. It's fear dressed up as order. Here's the truth nobody wants to face. Cruelty never builds. It only circles back. You cheer when it's their side. You cry when it's yours. Either way, the graveyard don't care who you voted for. That's why I keep saying peace gotta come before points. If families keep getting destroyed, society loses. Every father missing at the dinner table. Every daughter crying herself to sleep. That weakens all of us. So maybe the real list ain't a kill list. Maybe it's a test list. Testing how much hate we gonna normalize before we can come back. Testing if we'd rather win online arguments than keep humanity intact. And if that's the case, we already failing. If you really think clapping for a bullet makes you righteous, step back, recheck your humanity. Because the second we stop seeing each other as human, we already lost the war. So here's the question I'll leave you with. Do you think Tate's paranoia is exposing a real pattern, or is it just fear doing the work by itself? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm reading everything. I'll see you on the next one. Panda out.